Hey guys, what's up? Welcome to the Fish Tank. And today I'm bringing you some Lazarus gameplay. That's right, my main man Laz with that Lazarus device. This is gameplay against, I believe, a Wraith, and basically our team did awesome. Not really, it was a pretty inexperienced Wraith. But still, I just wanted to show you what the huge advantage to Lazarus is, and kind of show gameplay against one of the tougher monsters. Not exactly the best player playing it, but, you know, really enjoyed the game and thought you guys would want to check this out. So like I said, we're hunting a Wraith, and we end up beating a Wraith. And there's actually one other pretty good guy in this lobby. His name is like Blackery or Blackberry or something like that. I don't know, you can read it on the screen. But we're hunting the Wraith, so I go ahead and follow this guy because as the medic, you don't want to lead the charge. If you do, that's basically how your team ends up dead. So we see a perk over here, we go ahead and grab it, but one of the things you'll notice off the start is pretty much we have no idea where the Wraith is. It's like the slipperiest monster they could have possibly designed. It's got that clone thing. Even if it leaves tracks, it moves way faster than the other monsters, so it's pretty tough to track down the Wraith. So we actually spend a good portion of the beginning of this match unable to find the stupid thing, and to make matters a little bit worse, our Trapper is a pretty inexperienced guy, so the Trapper doesn't manage to dome the monster. I end up being the only one in this match with a mic, so I'm screaming into the microphone the whole time, "Hey guys, we gotta do this. Where's that dome? Where's that dome?" You know, I'm wanting the Wraith to get trapped and struggling to actually have that happen. No, that's okay. So you can see here, Lazarus has a silenced sniper rifle. They must have thought the silencer fit his personality. Not really sure why they put a silencer on it, because the monster can see you if he can see you. But Lazarus has a silenced sniper rifle, and just like Val has the sniper rifle that puts a big 2x damage point on whatever monster she shoots, Lazarus has kind of the same thing, but the huge advantage to Lazarus is you can shoot like 20 shots with it. Or probably not 20, it's a little bit less. But you can shoot a bunch of shots with Lazarus' sniper rifle, which is huge. You know, you can see there, I'm just popping off shots. I don't care. My teammates decide to fight a lot of things that they probably shouldn't. They could have just run past, but oh well. But Lazarus' sniper rifle, you can shoot a bunch of shots. The difference between his sniper rifle and Val's, because you think, well, the one that shoots more is obviously better, right? Well, the difference between his sniper rifle and Val's is the damage points that Lazarus' sniper rifle puts on the monster are only 1.5 times damage, whereas Val's are a full 2 times damage. So if you hit a damage spot put on by Val, it does a lot more damage than Lazarus, but that's okay. Lazarus ends up putting a lot more of them on, so I find that my teams actually end up dealing a lot more damage when Lazarus is the medic, just because you don't have to be as accurate. With Val, you have to hit basically that 1 or 2 spot-on points that she was able to throw on the monster, and with Lazarus, you know, you've got 16 of them if you shoot right, so the monster ends up having kind of a blanket of spots on him, and you can see he gets to stage 2 before we even find him, so that kind of sucks. The team spent a lot of time fighting things that didn't really need to get fought. And we finally catch the Wraith on its evolution, and I'm screaming, "Come on, Trapper, come on!" I'm not really sure if my mic's muted or not, because, like I said, I was the only one with a mic, and I don't like to yell at people online, but eventually you will see my little chat bubble pop up, because I got frustrated enough. But we finally catch up to the Wraith, and they don't end up getting it domed. So I'm like, crap, I've got Lazarus, I've got, you know, a bunch of little damage points I can put on it, but it doesn't do me any good if my team can't shoot the stupid thing. So we're following the Wraith, I'm tracking it down, I'm following the guy who kind of knows what he's doing. I'm still a little bit new to it, but you'll see when we actually get into a fight with the Wraith, and I think it gets to stage 3 before we get in a major fight. I think we might get in one more engagement at stage 2. But you'll see when we get in the fight with the Wraith, just what the huge advantage to Lazarus is. So you can see I have 2 abilities I haven't even used yet. I have my left button ability, which is the cloak, which basically is just my get out of jail free card, just like the support has a cloak. Lazarus is actually the only medic with a cloak, so you pretty much want to save that until you absolutely have to use it, or if you want to come in for like a stealthy revive. And then that B button thing at the bottom there, that Lazarus device, is actually basically a free revive with no strikes against the hunters. So when you go down as a hunter, you get what's called a strike, and your health bar has a permanent little section that it can't refill. And Lazarus can pick up downed hunters without them getting strikes. So the huge advantage to Lazarus is basically free revives, no penalty. The downside to that is, unlike Val or Kyra, he doesn't have any other means of healing except the heal burst. So he pretty much ends up only healing things after they're dead. So you have to be really careful as Lazarus not to get caught by plants, or you saw there I just shot a carnivorous plant a little while ago. You have to be really careful not to get caught by plants, not to get stuck in a tyrant's mouth, anything like that, because if you do, your team's pretty much screwed. And that actually happened to be a couple matches when I was learning how to play. I didn't know where the tyrant pools were. I didn't know Lazarus had no way of healing other than the burst. But once you get used to Lazarus, I would say by far he is the best medic, especially for hunt mode. Kyra is a little bit more helpful in rescue or nest, because she's got that burst field, that acceleration field that lets everybody run faster. You can see there we finally caught up to the Wraith. We're trying to track it. I want none of that, so I throw on my cloak because, you know, if they take out the medic, then they're pretty much in great shape for the rest of the fight. So I throw on my cloak, I get out of there. Unfortunately, it was the decoy, and we've lost the Wraith yet again. So I'm a little upset about it. We're trying to catch up to the thing, and I think it's going to reach stage 3 before I actually end up getting a chance to get in a real fight with it. But this kind of shows you just how good a monster the Wraith really is. Even an inexperienced player, this guy's not a great Wraith, to be honest, when we actually end up getting in a head-on fight with him. But even an inexperienced player manages to do pretty well evading us, just because the Wraith is so fast and has such a great ability. So there, we finally get the dome up, and we realize, oh crap, that was the decoy. The Wraith is not in the dome. So we get over here, and you see the guy who actually knows what's going on is frantically pressing, no, 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 it's out of the dome, it's out of the dome. And we finally get the dome down, but unfortunately, the Wraith doesn't get caught in it. So that kind of goes to show you what an inexperienced trapper can do to damage your team. It really hurts you to have inexperienced players. In fact, one of the things I've noticed is, if you have a bot on your team, generally they don't do well and they don't do poorly. They pretty much pull their weight, don't do anything spectacular, not a great player, but they do manage to help out your team. Human players, you get opposite extremes. You either get a really, really good player, like this guy who's been tracking the monster pretty well the whole time, or you get really, really bad teammates, like the Trapper, who hasn't domed the monster once, and the one attempt to dome it, all he caught was the decoy. So you end up with, excuse me there, you end up with teammates that either really know what's going on or don't know what's going on at all. And you see there, I really don't like those plants, so I shoot them pretty much every time I see one. But you end up with teammates that kind of determine how well you're going to do. And as a monster, you know, I'm not the best monster, but when I'm playing against inexperienced hunters, it is not hard to pick people off. When I'm playing against experienced hunters, I struggle. And it's just because, if you know what's going on, you're going to be pretty good. You're going to have a chance to hold your own. And one of the things I noticed in the alpha, I thought the hunters were kind of overpowered. I struggled to win as the monster. I didn't have any really great performances. You can see there the monster reaches stage 3. But I didn't really have any great performances. And it's because I struggled insanely to beat groups of 4 hunters. Most of the matches I ended up as the monster in were against full parties of hunters that knew what they were doing. And when the hunters know what they're doing, they have a huge advantage. When the hunters don't know what they're doing, the monster has a huge advantage. And when they both know what's going on, it's a pretty even match. And that's kind of what the game is designed to be, is a pretty even 50-50 split. I think they did say that in the beta, the Wraith won about 70% of its matches, so there was that buff on launch, or sorry, that patch. The nerf, it wasn't a buff. They actually got rid of some of Wraith's abilities. But you ended up with just, you know, a group of pretty able people able to hold their own against the monster. Most of the time, if the monster reaches stage 3 without you doing much damage to it, it's going to win. And if you manage to track it down at stage 1 or 2 and deal a decent amount of damage, the hunters win. So you can see up there the power relay is getting damaged. We're panicking, running towards it. Wraith has gotten to pretty much stage 3 without any repercussions. The Wraith has almost 0 damage on it, and we know we're in trouble. It's got a little bit of armor there. You can see there the health bar is full as can be, and I'm a little upset because I know, and the decoy pops in. I'm pretty sure the actual monster can't enter the dome. I could be wrong, but I know at least the actual monster can't leave the dome. And yet again, the Trapper does not dome the actual Wraith, which kind of sucks. But, you know, we saw the power relay getting hit, so we run out of there. Hank's got his orbital barrage on, trying to hit the monster, and now we're actually going to get in a fight with the monster. And you're going to see just how important Lazarus is here in a minute, because when teammates go down, I'm able to pretty much sneak in without any repercussions and revive them. And as long as the Wraith can't get any down penalties on us, Wraith is pretty much a hit-and-run monster, so as long as the Wraith can't get any down penalties, we're in great shape. Because the whole point is to shock and awe, go in fast, kill, get out, and then once you're done, the hunters have all kinds of down penalties, and they're in trouble when you actually come in for the finish. And you can see there, I'm putting all kinds of damage points on it. He's trying to inflict a bunch of damage, and when he actually does get one of our team down, I'm just going to be able to go in and cloak revive him without any trouble. So, this Wraith is actually sticking in the fight probably longer than it should. Wraith doesn't have much armor. We're getting lots of damage points on him. And I decided I need to get out of there. I need to get a little bit more vertical. So I'm looking to see how I can do that. And go ahead and claim this wall. But I don't want to be in the fight as Lazarus. That's the one thing that Lazarus cannot do. Val can kind of hang in there and heal. Kyra can kind of hang in there and heal. But Lazarus needs to stick out of that fight. So you can see there, they're actually inflicting some damage on the Wraith with the orbital barrage. I'm trying to stay at a distance and pick him off. And there's somebody goes down, so I throw on the cloak. He's trying to beat up the body, and I'm just going to stick right in there and revive him. So Parnell's back up, and all of Wraith's effort was for naught. So we get to just kind of stick back at a distance, and again, I'm trying to stay a little bit away from the Wraith. I don't want to pull the aggro from the Wraith. I don't want to get hit by the Wraith, because if I do, if I go down, the Wraith's pretty much got an easy win. That's the one thing, is when the medic goes down in a fight, the team is sure to follow, and I think it actually says that in one of the tutorials, but it couldn't be more true. When I'm as a medic, when I'm playing as a medic, the times I go down quick, the monster always wins. The times that I manage to stay up and stay out of the fight and just peg it with some damage from the sniper rifles, either from Val or from Lazarus, or even Kyra's grenade lobs. Whenever I'm able to stay at a distance and do that, we pretty much win the fight every time. You saw, I think I got 2 or 3 revives in this match, and managed to stick the Wraith with lots of hit points. And right now, I'm on the mic saying, guys, don't chase the Wraith. Don't chase the Wraith. It came in full armor, full health at this point, and we did fine. There's no reason to follow it. And one guy listens there. You can see Parnell has realized I kind of know what's going on, and just sticks right there. The other 2 actually chase the Wraith, which I'm okay with as long as one of us sticks back. So they go out and deal some damage, trying to keep it from getting armor. At this point, I don't really care. We all have no strikes and have managed to get the Wraith to almost no health. So the win is kind of in the bag at this point, unless we screw it up. And you see the Wraith doubles back. It's going to end up popping out here in just a second as they're following it. There he is. So I try and get some hit markers on it from distance. It's going to come back in. You can see Parnell's also firing on it. And we start getting damage. It actually did manage to get some armor in that, so I'm going to pull back. I don't want to be in the middle of the fight. I'm the medic. I'm just going to come in for the revives after people are down. And the Wraith is going to come in, and it went invisible and tried to stalk me, so I instantly throw on the cloak so that it doesn't know where I am, and the one person the Wraith needs to kill, me, it can't find. And its best attempts in Supernova do nothing. You can see there, I'm just going to go in, pick him right back up with that Lazarus device, and nothing's hurt. And the Wraith's health pretty much goes down. So finally, the Trapper actually is going to manage to dome the monster here. At the very end, I think it domed it one other time. And I'm just going to stay out of the dome, because I know as long as I'm alive outside the dome, even if everybody else goes down, there's no possible way to lose. And right at the end, when I know we're good, I go in for that revive. But Hunters win. Hopefully you guys enjoyed watching. Hopefully you are ready for some more Evolve, and go ahead and check out this video on screen if you haven't seen it yet. Okay, thanks guys.
Yeah.